3, 2, 1. Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Hanging with Janky. What? Hello, friends. There is a lot going on in gaming this week, friends. So much, in fact. It is PAX West this weekend, and I wish that I had lots to share with you, but of course I am obviously not there. So, yeah, I just can only share my outside perspective on what's going on at PAX. I can, however, share this super hype news with you, which is I am going to PAX South. Already have my tickets, already planned. It's gonna be, and I'm gonna be in San Antone come January. It's going to be hype, which is awesome because PAX South is all about indie games anyway, which is totally my jam, so I'm super excited for that. You're hearing it here first. Other than that, I have just been chilling this week, peeps. I've been watching The Defenders. I've been doing other things. God, I did not have a plan for where that sentence was going. But I've been doing stuff and reading up on things like news. So let's transition into gaming news, shall we? See that transition work? You know you jealous. Let's get rolling, shall we? So I'm sure, as a lot of you out there know, recently Hurricane Harvey has carved its way through Texas and has led to a lot of mass flooding in Houston and the surrounding areas, and it's just a big problem down there, and people have been trying to evacuate and get to safety, and all this other stuff is going on. And some good that has come out of it is that the gaming community has rallied around Houston in a really sweet way. So there are a lot of really awesome charitable organizations in the gaming community, and a lot of them have been rallying around Harvey relief. First and foremost, we have Games Done Quick, which is doing a thing all this weekend for Harvey relief. They are doing Harvey relief done quick. So all of those awesome speedrunners who do stuff for charity, I think they usually do Make-A-Wish Foundation and charities like that, they are coming together for Harvey relief, which is super awesome. I know that Alex Hirsch and Justin Roiland, the creative minds behind Gravity Falls and Rick and Morty, are coming together to do a really awesome art stream over on Twitch, which is super cool. And the Bungie Foundation, which is, of course, an extension of Bungie, who is responsible for games like Halo and Destiny, is offering a really cool thing. If you donate to their foundation for Harvey relief, you can get a really cool Destiny-themed pin, which kind of coincides with the release of Destiny, and that's really cool of them. So there are lots of really cool things going on with those organizations. I definitely recommend checking those out and supporting little Harvey relief for those people down in Houston. And of course, thoughts and love to all of those people down in Houston right now. Okay, let's talk about something a little more lighthearted now. Let's talk about why I love the Sonic fandom. Granted, sometimes it's weird, it's strange. Everybody has an OC, which they will immediately create whenever Sonic Forces releases, and there's a lot of art out there that makes you not want to look up Sonic the Hedgehog on DeviantArt. But sometimes the fandom comes together to create something beautiful and awesome. So let me introduce you to Dr. Eggman's niece, Eggette. So this character is just delightful. I've been seeing her on Twitter over the past couple days, and I was reading about her, and basically, here's how this all came about. So there's this part in Sonic Mania where you have to fight Dr. Eggman, and he's in his spider bot, and he's piloting it upside down. So he's like in the head, but the spider bot is like facing toward the ground. So all you see is like the top of his bald head and a mustache. But one gamer interpreted that as a small child with a huge head of hair operating the spider bot, which became Dr. Eggman's niece, Eggette. There is so much cute art out there, like so quickly. That's another thing that I love about the internet, is that fan art happens like immediately when these things happen. So now there's like all sorts of drawings of Eggette, who is the niece of Eggman, and she has like her own little egg carrier and her own little toy versions of the metal Sonic characters, and she's just trying to be the best mad scientist niece she could be and help her uncle against those rodents, those tricky rodents. And it's just cute and sweet, and oh my god, just Google her. It's great. Dr. Eggman's niece. Check it out. Ugh, beautiful. So if you're a Valve fan and a Half-Life fan, you have probably been waiting for quite some time for the release of Half-Life 3, or at the very least, an episode 3 of Half-Life. Well, friends, your prayers have been answered just a little when the writer of Half-Life released the entire plot of episode 3 in the form of a letter. So this is actually really cool, and I should preface all of this by saying that my experience with Half-Life is very passing. Like, I know the story of it, but I never actually played the games. I was more of a Portal fan. But anyway, the lead writer behind Half-Life, whose name I didn't write down because I'm silly, he released a letter that had a whole bunch of name changes in it, but basically it spelled out what his idea for the plot of episode 3 of Half-Life 2 should be. It's actually really awesome. It introduces cool new mechanics, it kind of tracks with where the story was going before, and it kind of leaves you off on yet another cliffhanger, where you feel that maybe Gordon Freeman's story is wrapped up, but Alex Vance's might not be, and there's still room for the story to continue into Half-Life 3 with sort of a clean slate, not knowing what's going to happen next, which is really cool. While the letter seemed enough to satisfy some fans of Half-Life, others were just incredibly ired, I guess might be the word I want to use, by this release, because they're just like, oh, Valve, you put so much effort into other stuff, and then you never make Half-Life 3. So these people have begun spamming Dota 2 with negative reviews. Now, it's worth mentioning that Dota, even with the negative reviews, still has a mostly positive review for the most recent update. But it's the premise of the thing, right? They just want a Half-Life 3 game, and they feel that Valve is putting too much effort into other projects, which they are releasing Artifact, which is the new card game based on Dota, and they feel like they've just put a lot of effort into Dota, and they haven't really done anything with Half-Life, because, you know, they've kind of swung away from those narrative stories, which is sad. But yeah, if you're interested, if you're a fan of Half-Life, you can go read the letter. It's called Epistle 3, and it's a really good read, actually. I really like it, and I think it would have made a really cool game if it ever got made, which it didn't, but oh well. If you're like me, you were a fan of the Pokemon anime when you were a kid in the 90s, and you'll know that the classic trio of Misty, Brock, and Ash is the best iteration of Pokemon trainers to ever exist on that show. I do not care whoever else came in, or left, or did whatever, those three are awesome. And whenever they made the Pokemon movie, I Choose You, which was sort of a reimagining of the first season, and Misty and Brock weren't there, Pokemon fans everywhere were justifiably righteously outraged. So, you'll be happy to know that the new season of the Pokemon anime, which is based on the Alola region from the new game Sun and Moon, is going to include Misty and Brock in a couple of episodes where Ash has to return to Kanto. I mean, that's pretty much the whole story, but I'm hyped for it. I mean, I haven't watched the Pokemon anime since probably the second season. Pretty much since Misty and Brock left. I stopped watching after that. So, I really haven't kept up with what's been going on with Ash and the gang and all the new Pokemon and all that stuff. But I'm still super hyped to see them return, and whenever that episode releases here in the United States, which probably won't be for a while because it's just now releasing in Japan and we are very far behind, but I'll probably watch it just to see the whole gang back together. It'll be cool. It'll be sweet. It'll be sweet. Coolio. So for those of you who are fans of Destiny, I'm sure you are very excited for the release of Destiny 2, which is releasing very soon. I'll be talking about that here in a second in game releases, but it is super cool. And Bungie has been hyping the hell out of it. So they made this live action trailer that starts off really cheesy, and you're just like, okay, well, yeah, this is fine, whatever. And then the Beastie Boys kicks in, and it gets hype as hell. Oh my god, it is so dope. Oh, look at it. Look at what's happening right now. God, I hope it's at a cool part. It probably is, because the entire back half of the trailer is a cool part. Oh, it's so awesome. And for those of you who are hoping for some PAX West news today, I'm sure that you are very interested to hear what's going on at the convention. Of course, I can tell you, as someone who has been a media personnel at the convention, a lot of news for PAX doesn't come out until the week after, because a lot of people don't start writing their articles until they get back from PAX. So honestly, I don't have a lot to go on without actually having been there, but I can tell you about one or two hype things that have been going on. One thing in particular, which is the Nindies exhibit. So for those of you who are Nintendo fans, have been super hyped out over the Switch, maybe you got one, maybe you're waiting for one, who knows. But one of the things that Nintendo has been doing really well with the Switch is that they have been including a lot of indie developers in the process, which was interesting because a lot of people were kind of questioning the Switch early on because it didn't seem like it had a lot of titles to it. And then Nintendo started bringing in all of these indie developers, which was super duper cool. So as part of their PAX West presentation, Nintendo introduced Nindies, which is all the indie titles that are coming to the Switch over the next year or so, and they all look super cool. I didn't actually watch the conference, but I've seen a few of the games that have been included in the Nindies, and they look so awesome. And some of them are older, like Shovel Knight, and then some of them are new games that are in the development process. Either way, I think that Nintendo made a really smart move in bringing indies to the Switch, because that's something that I don't think a lot of consoles have taken advantage of. Xbox, kind of, because they're part of Microsoft, so whenever an indie game comes to Microsoft, it kind of comes to Xbox too. I don't think PlayStation has nearly as many indies as the others, but I think it's super cool that Nintendo has been working with indie developers so much, and I think that it really works for the Switch because it's so portable. I think it's a really great way to play indie games, and I think that that'll be super hype. So definitely check out Nintendo Indies, the Nindies, because they are all looking super hype. Okay, so let's get to the main event, because it is the first Hanging with Janky of the month. We have to talk about September releases, so let me tell you about some of the games coming out this September. Of course, first off, we have Destiny 2, which will be coming out September 6th to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. People have been super hyped for Destiny 2, of course, and Destiny 2 is just an awesome game. Unfortunately, I'm not wearing one of my Destiny shirts because they're both in the wash, but I do have one of the little companion things up here. But yeah, Destiny 2, super hype, coming out, woo. Then we have Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, coming out September 14th to all of those systems. People have been super excited for this. I think that it's going to be DLC to Dishonored 2. I don't think that it's a separate thing. You might actually be able to buy it as a separate thing. I'm not sure. I didn't look that up, but you might be able to buy it separately from Dishonored 2. But people are super excited from it. It looks really hype, so definitely be watching out for that, especially if you're a fan of the Dishonored franchise. Then we have Divinity, the Original Sin 2, which is coming out September 14th to PC. Super exciting. Then we have Metroid, Samus Returns, because Samus is finally returning to the 3DS September 15th. Metroid fans everywhere are super hype. I am absolutely positive of that. Then we have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite coming out September 19th to all of those systems. People are, super hyped for that too, even though the animations look real weird. I mean, Chun-Li's face, guys, right? That was like an internet meme for at least a week, was how bad Chun-Li's face looks in that game, but whatever. Then we have Hob, which I am super duper hyped for. I loved trying out that game back at PAX East. I love talking to Runic Games. They're super cool. Rune, my little sprite, has been sitting on my shelf for forever. Super cool character from that game. Super ready to check it out. That will be coming September 26th to PC, and you can pre-order it now on Steam. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's not like they're paying me to advertise their game. I just think it's a really cool game. Then we have Total War Hammer coming out September 29th to PC, so if you're a fan of the Warhammer franchise, definitely check that out. Then we have Cuphead, which will be releasing September 29th. Finally, this game has been coming out for at least a couple years, maybe like even 3 or 4. It's been a while. It's been in development a while. But it looks super cool, super dope. Love the 1930s cartoon style of it. And that will be coming to Xbox One and PC. So definitely be ready for that. Hype, 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 Yeah. And then, of course, we have to round out our day by thanking new subscribers to the channel. We have 290 subscribers this week, which means I have one person to thank this week. And let me thank them right now. It is the Mercury Empire. Thank you so much for joining up with the Janky Squad. I appreciate you. I hope that you love it. They're over on YouTube. Definitely go check them out as well. Super duper awesome. Thank you so much for joining up, and keep being awesome and keep being you. And of course, thank you to all 290 members of the Janky Squad. You guys are all awesome and super cool. And I'm hoping soon I might be able to do something for 300. We could do something hype. I don't know what, but it will be hype, whatever it is. I don't know. But super cool, super awesome. You all are beautiful human beings who are beautiful human beings. And I love you. And that's all I got. So I hope you guys enjoyed yet another Hanging with Janky. If you did, feel free to leave that like down below. Comments, positive or negative, feel free to leave those below as well. More than anything, I hope you have a lovely day, evening, or whatever you happen to be watching. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, this is Janky Shenanigans, signing out.